How much biz would a Biz Witch biz if a Biz Witch would biz? I have to do that again.
How much biz would a Biz Witch biz if a Biz Witch would biz? How much biz would a Biz Witch biz if a Biz Witch would biz?
Hi, welcome to Kick-Ass Switch, putting the K in magic. I'm Joanna DeVoe, and you are watching the very last video for the Rich Witch series, which means February is almost over. Thank you so much to those of you who pre-ordered the Rich Witch 7 Portals of Prosperity. Thank you for hanging with me. It's taking me a little bit longer than I anticipated in getting it out, but I promise you it will be in your inboxes soon enough, and it will definitely be worth the wait. I am super stoked about this thing. It's awesome. I kind of wish that I could keep this theme going for, I don't know, I think I'll revisit it next year because I'm not done talking about the Rich Witch, but I'll pick it up next year when I've learned more, when I've learned another year's worth of information about how to become a rich witch. But for now, I wanted to do another Biz Witch post because I have not done a Biz Witch post in a long time, and I know that part of becoming a rich witch is making more money, and I know a lot of you want to do that by having your own online business, which is not as easy as it seems. It's not for everyone, although I urge you to try if you think it might be for you. Find out the hard way. I don't know. It's challenging, but it's also super duper fun. And you'll know soon enough if that is your true calling, because it will feel amazing and you will have the energy to push through whatever obstacles come your way. And I have this idea in my head of the village witch. I think a lot of us think of an old crone living on the outskirts of a village, probably bordering the forest, and people go out to see her when they need help, when they need a little magic done on their behalf, and they might trade in 3 chickens for a magic spell, or I don't know, offer to mow her lawn, something like that. But now, today, we live in a global village, and this village is called the internet. So I think that the role of the village witch is changing. I see it changing. I see witches being of service and helping the village online, and I think that's really amazing. It's become an oversaturated market because I think a lot of witchy people see that as kind of maybe easy money, or just the ideal, oh my god, what if I could make money being witchy? What if you could? I don't know. Try and find out, like I said at the beginning of this here. But if you're one of those people, if you think Biz Witchery might be for me, or you've already started your online business but it's not really taking off in the way you hoped it would, I have something for you today here and on the blog post down below, and it is called 5 Tips for Thriving in Biz by Being Your Own Magical Self. So let's get right to it. Let's hit all 5 of these tips so I can get back to wrapping up this ebook for you. Tip number 1, authenticity is queen. You're going to hear about authenticity all the time if you start reading about starting your own online biz. I talk about it all the time. That's because it's true. The fastest way to have a business that connects with future clients and customers is to be authentic, because like attracts like, and the most sustainable thing that you could be is yourself. So be the you that you are when you're alone, when no one's looking, when you're hanging out with your family, when you're hanging out with your best friends. I'm not saying be the full spectrum of who you are, but the pieces that you're going to extract for your business, they need to be authentic. They need to be a piece of who you authentically are. So you don't want to share, you might not want to share any number of things. You really only need to share a small piece of who you are, but you need to share it in an authentic way. I love what Brené Brown says about how vulnerability is a measure of courage. I think that's absolutely true. And I don't share everything with you. You don't know everything about me. But I do show up as myself. And I feel vulnerable all the time. Every time I try to write an ebook or a newsletter or I do a podcast, I definitely feel exposed. I feel a sense of vulnerability. And here's what's fascinating. The more vulnerable I feel because I'm being the most authentic I can be, the more I connect with my tribe. And once you start noticing this happening, it gets easier and easier to go there because people aren't throwing tomatoes at you. They're like, oh, thank you so much for saying or being, how I feel. So that's an amazing way to connect with your tribe. It's also an amazing way to be at ease when you're creating content because you're just being yourself. You don't have to try so hard. And that is far more sustainable than looking at what other people are doing and trying to figure out the right thing to say or the right magic formula. There is no magic formula besides do you, be yourself, figure out what works for you, find your tribe, serve them, and do it all authentically. Tip number 2, it's not a numbers game. It's really not. So 10 quality customers far outweigh 10,000 subscribers to your Facebook page. And people get this twisted all the time to where they pay for fake likes to their social media. And first of all, this looks completely inauthentic when someone comes to visit your page and they see that you have 10,000 likes, but then nobody's liking, commenting, or sharing your content. They're not commenting on it. They're not engaging in any way. That says, hello, here's a person that thinks that buying likes is buying a business. It's not. Please save your money. Please don't do that. In addition to that, I'm going to stick with Facebook here, but this is true of all the social media platforms. But there are Facebook pages, witchy, awesome Facebook pages that have thousands and thousands of likes and a lot of engagement, but they're just kind of posting like little inspirational memes, and people love sharing that on their social media page, but it's not really creating true value and it's not building a business. These pages aren't making any money. So, you want to take your focus off winning some imaginary popularity contest. Maybe you're like over delivering and making like 5 videos a week, and giving everything you have to give away for free because you're so concerned with the numbers that you're actually not putting any numbers in the bank. You're actually not making any money. So once you switch your focus from winning this imaginary popularity contest, which isn't even a real thing, and to just finding a few quality clients or customers that you can serve, you're going to be in biz. If people are not actively engaging you on social media, if they're not opening your newsletters, and yes, you need a newsletter if you are going to have your own online biz. I have talked about this in a previous, probably more than one previous Biz Witch post, so I'm not going to get into that here. Just take my word for it. You need a newsletter. If people aren't opening your newsletter, if they're not engaging you on social media, and most importantly, if they aren't buying your products or services, you do not have a business. You have a hobby. And there is a clear distinction between those two things. One pays your bills, one does not. One leads to becoming a rich witch, one does not. So make sure that you are very clear on your intention. Do you just want to do this as a hobby? Is it just fun to entertain people for free? Or do you want to make money? Because you're going to spend your time doing totally different things depending on what your intention is. And I see a lot of people who want to have their own online business kind of treating it as a hobby and hoping one day that it will pay off. It won't. I promise you, don't go down that road. Don't do it. Pull back and reassess the situation. Tip number 3, make sure that your social media represents your brand across the board. And I mean this in 2 different ways. If you have a business page, again with Facebook, if you have a Facebook page for your business, make sure that your personal page for your business or your personal page reflects that. So you do not want to have a business page that's like super motivational and inspirational and you can do it, you're so awesome, yay! And then your personal page is like, woe is me, here's everything that's going on in my life, and it's filled with a bunch of moaning and groaning and pissing and complaining. That is going to damage your sense of authenticity. It's going to turn people off, and believe me, if you have a business page, they're going to find your personal page, and that is an impression that you don't want to make. Save that shit for when you're on the phone with your best friend or your sister or your brother or your mother. Do not share that with the public, even on your personal page, because when you go into business for yourself online, your personal page becomes a representation of your business as well. Another way that you can make sure that your social media is representing your brand across the board is that every time you go to post something, you ask yourself, does this post do one of 3 things? Does it offer value to your tribe? Does it support the spirit of your brand? Or does it generate sales? And I definitely would say that getting people onto your newsletter list is included in generating sales, because if you are good at what you do and you're sending out your newsletter regularly, those will eventually down the road hopefully turn into sales. So that's definitely included in that 3rd. Just test all 3 of those before you hit a post. If it doesn't add value to your tribe, if it doesn't support the spirit of your brand, or it doesn't lead to sales, don't post it. It's pointless. Don't post it, and it's just going to water down your message. Tip number 4, if authenticity is queen, then consistency is her faithful champion. I talk about this a lot. I'm a firm believer in having structures in place and rituals and routines so that you can consistently deliver content and build your brand and make connections on a regular basis. And this is 2 things. The consistency allows your tribe to anticipate that, yay, she's coming back because every Tuesday she posts a new video, because every Tuesday you post a new video. And it also sets you free. Rituals are not just for the occasional magic spell. They're not just for the full moon or the dark moon or whatever Sabbat you're celebrating. Rituals, the best rituals in my opinion, are daily rituals. They set you free because they take you out of your own head. Whatever it is you ritualize becomes automatic. I have seriously ritualized every single component of my business to where now it's almost on automatic. Like when I edit my videos, the way that I edit my videos, sending out my newsletter every weekend, posting a video every Thursday, going live and doing a new podcast every Tuesday at noon. It just starts falling in. Oh, doing the weekly witch review on Fridays. How could I forget that? It just gets you into a routine and it starts to become second nature for you, and that really frees up your mind to put your creativity into creating the content instead of like trying to like strategize or keep up with yourself or figuring out when you're going to post again or coming on like 4 weeks later and apologizing to your tribe like, sorry, I haven't posted a video. Never start a video. That's just a bonus tip. Don't start a video apologizing for not showing up. Keep showing up. And if for some reason you can't show up for a few weeks, just pick up where you left off. I can't tell you how many times I've clicked off a video, because especially I do a feature on the weekly witch review where I always do a witchy vlog of the week. So I go digging sometimes. If something didn't like strike me during my YouTube viewing experience that week as being extra special, I'll just do a search. And This happens with strangers usually. I'll click on a video that looks really interesting, the subject line, and then the person just starts going on and on about, oh, sorry, I've been sick, I haven't been here, and blah, blah, blah. I'm not posting that on my website. So again, consistency, people. And finally, tip number 5, you do not have to figure it all out before you begin. Don't let all these tips intimidate you. You can just begin where you are, as you are. Just show up in the witchy community, be yourself, offer value to people, be of service in whatever way you can. And when you start to notice that your tribe is gathering around you, ask them what they want from you. Ask them what they want and need. And then you're in business, because then you can create products and services that are inspired by your tribe. You know that it's something that they want because they told you it's what they want. They told you it's what they want and need because you asked them. Ask and you shall receive. And you can do that all throughout the life of your business. I do that all the time. And sometimes I'm surprised, and sometimes I change course depending on the answers that I get. So you're never too big to ask people what they want. And you can save yourself so much time because it's not always going to match up with what you think they want. It doesn't work to want them to want what you want them to want. Just ask. It's so much easier. And if you're tempted to start your own online business, but you don't know where to begin, or you've already started your own online biz, but it's not really taking off in the way you hoped, and you want some one-on-one attention with a real live kick-ass witch, just hit me up, follow the link down below, and you can sign up for a Biz Witch coaching call. There's a questionnaire that you're going to have to fill out when you do that. It helps me get to know you so we can save time on our call and just get right down to business. And until we meet again, next month's theme I'll be telling you in the next video. Much love to you. Peace.